right, we are looking at lesson 90 today. Your test is not going to be until Thursday. We're going to do test corrections on Friday, and then I haven't decided whether we're going to do something before your test corrections or if we're going to wait until after your test corrections. But we're going to do something for Pi Day. Either.
Wait till after.
I don't know. Yeah, but then some people won't be able to do it because they'll take forever on their test corrections. So
Do it. Well, then work because not long.
So anyway, your test is going to be pushed back until Thursday. It was supposed to be tomorrow, and I didn't really want to give y'all a test on the Tuesday after y'all came back from spring break. So it'll be on Thursday. Tomorrow, y'all will do testing in the morning, and then by the time 6 hour comes around, y'all will be here normal. So we'll just do a lesson like normal tomorrow. So we're looking at systems of 3 equations, lesson 90 today. System of 3 equations. So we're going to find the point where 3 different lines intersect. Yeah, we did skip lesson 89 or 87. And then you're going to put it in a triple, ordered triple. What do you call that?
Double.
Another name for it.
Coordinate.
Coordinate pair. You've heard that before? Ordered pair. Why pair? Okay, so triple meaning 3. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, y'all have been doing these. Remember, you can't really graph them. Not feasible. I mean, you can graph them, but it doesn't look right because it's a 3-dimensional thing that you're graphing. I did a computer software, not computer software. It was a math lab, is what it was called. Normally, when you think of math lab, you think of like remedial, but this was like, y'all know how labs you do like experiments and stuff in science? That's more what it was. I did that in college on computer software for this math program, and you could actually graph things in 3-dimensional. It looked kind of cool. Yeah, it was hard. I had a guy next to me that was really good at the computer programming part of it. Oh, I don't know. He was like Spanish or something. So I didn't understand everything that he said, but like if I had a question, he was usually able to help me.
How do you deal with like in your class, like a really hard class?
Usually, if I was going to have a hard professor, I found a different class to take. But some of them like abstract algebra. It was he was Romanian, and that was the only class that was offered for the entire year, so I had to take it. You know.
Was it harder because you could?
Yeah, I didn't understand him. I didn't do very well. I didn't do very well in the class.
Like for the class and stuff. You figured it out.
Yeah, I mean they don't care, but it didn't. It wouldn't have helped.
They'll explain maybe if it's let me get back.
No, it wasn't that. I never had a professor. I never asked to do that, but this class, like, it wouldn't have helped. He just wasn't. He didn't explain it very well. His accent only added to it, but yeah. So that's my suggestion. Just take someone else. No, I cannot. Here, look up Romanian accent. That's where he was from.
I don't even know what it's in. It's probably Europe. In Rome?
No.
Rome is in Italy. I don't know Romanian.
Okay, so you're going to use elimination twice on these to eliminate one variable. So you're either going to eliminate x or y or z. And then you're going to have 2 equations with 2 unknowns because we have x, y, and z. So if you eliminate x, you're still left with y and z. Does that make sense? Okay, so you're going to use elimination or substitution at that point to solve for your other 2 variables. Yeah, you're going to do elimination twice, and then that's going to give you a 2 system, 2 unknown, and then you'll do what you've been doing for them.
So instead of saying x equals like 2y, it'll like have a longer list?
No, it'll be numbers. Well, like if you were doing substitution, yeah. Yeah, these are a little bit different. Okay. So, why do they look different? Yeah, the ones y'all have had in the past have been like x equals 2y or something, and you've just substituted it in immediately. But now we can't do that because they have all three variables. Does that make sense? Do you see how that works? Okay, so what we want to do is eliminate one variable completely. Do we want to eliminate our x, our y, or our z?
Start there.
Why would we want to?
Why did it have a 2?
No, the Z.
Okay, we're on this one. I would pick z. They all have a coefficient of 1. Do you see that? If they all have the same coefficient, not looking at positive or negative, it would be easier to eliminate that one. Does that make sense? So if they all had a 2 or they all had a 3, that would be the easiest to eliminate. So yeah, we'll look at that in a minute. These all have 2, 2, and 1, or 2, 1, and 2, but these all three have a 1. So those would be the ones we're going to want to eliminate. For now they might be. I don't know. So if we look at those two, can we add them together as they are now? Will that eliminate the z? Okay, so x plus 2x. And then what? And then what happens to z minus z? It cancels, and what are you left with? Equals 4. Do y'all see how that works? So I picked those two. Which other two should I add together to eliminate? The bottom two? Why not the top and the bottom one? Z and Z would make 2z. Does that make sense? You could multiply one of them all by negative if you wanted. No, we want to eliminate z from them again. So we're going to add those two. Not right now. No, we got to make our other equation. So we added the top two. Now we're going to add the bottom two. What do you get when you add the bottom two? Do you agree? 4x minus 3y equals 1. Have we had something like this before? That's what we've been doing before. So now, instead of a 3 by 3, we have 2 by 2. What do you want to do for that one? Elimination or substitution? What do you want to eliminate? Okay, you're going to multiply which? The top one by 3. So what would you get now? Okay, when you add them together, what do you get? So x equals? Make sense? Now what? Okay, put it into one of these two. What do you get? Do you agree? Okay, now we need to find z. Pick one. Which one? Okay, 1 plus. Okay, so on this one, it doesn't really matter which one goes first because they're all the same thing. X, Y, Z. Always in that order. Yes. Alphabetical order, X, Y, Z. Y'all see how that works? Any questions here? So really the only thing that we're adding is that first step at the very beginning where you have to eliminate one of them. Okay? One that has the same coefficient. So looking at this one. Do any of them have all of the same coefficients? So does it matter which one we pick on this?
Why? I'm variable y, not like a question.
We can pick y, we can pick x, we can pick z. What are we going to have to do to be able to eliminate? Multiply one or more equations by something. we're going to eliminate, we got to eliminate one variable from all three, but we're going to combine two at a time. Okay. Okay. So, if we combine these two, what would we need to multiply one of them by? Okay, or if we combine these two, would we need to multiply anything? Or if we combine these two, either way, we're still going to have to multiply that top equation by 2, right? Okay, so what would that top equation become when you multiply it by 2? Okay, 4x minus 2y plus 6z. Make sense? Okay, it doesn't matter which two you combine, you just need to pick 2 and combine them, and then pick another 2 and combine them. Does that make sense? There are 3 different ways you can pick them. You can say these two right here, or you could say this one and that one, or you could say this one and that one. So there are 3 different equations you could actually come up with. So you pick 2 equations to combine, and then pick another 2 to combine, and see what you end up with. And I'm going to write all 3 of them, and you should have 2 of the 3. Do you have 2 of those 3 that I wrote?
Yes.
Which 2 do you have?
I got the top one.
The top 2?
Yeah, the top.
The top 2? So we're going to use the top 2, because that seems like what everybody wrote. Okay. So elimination, substitution, what do you want to do?
I did substitution. I did substitution because I didn't want to multiply those.
I did elimination.
Yeah.
Okay, we did elimination on the last one. We'll do substitution on this one. Did you solve for x or y? I mean x or z. Okay, so if you divide this whole thing by 2, you would get x plus z equals 4. And so z equals 4 minus x.
That's great. You already have your
Does that make sense? If you did elimination, you don't have to erase it. Just keep working on your elimination. So you should get negative 2x equals negative 2. And so x equals 1. Did everyone get that? On what? Substitution. That's what I got. What did you get?
Negative 19.
Yeah, that's probably not right. Usually they're going to be smaller numbers. Yeah, or you can solve for x, either one. Someone told me to solve for z, so that's what I did. Any other questions on finding x? Okay, how do we find z and y? Coming over here. Which one do you want to plug it into? Okay, the bottom one. 1 minus 2y plus 3 equals 0. So negative 2y equals negative 4. So y equals 2. 1, 2, 3. Y'all see how that works? Can I do it? What'd you eliminate? What variable? You eliminated z or what? X. Okay. So you should get 10x plus 10z equals 40, and negative 10x minus 14z equals negative 52. Negative 4z equals negative 12. And then divide by negative 4, you get 3. Any other questions on this one? I won't say that you won't ever get fractions for these, but if you do, they're going to be like 1/2 or something, I would think. Yes?
So if we've never done a fraction on the homework and we get to the test and get a fraction, I should probably know.
Yeah, I would probably rework it. Not saying that if you get a fraction, you're wrong, but on these, they... Yeah. I won't say that they won't be fractions, but if you get a fraction, I would rework it. Okay? I don't know that they give you a lot of fractions for these, just because it's so much algebra. Does that make sense? I'm not saying that you won't ever have a fraction, but if you get a fraction, rework it and make sure you did it correctly. Yes?
Teachers, pardon the interruption. I need Lorenzo Price to report to the main office. Thank you.
That was just some person? Is that what that was? Okay. That's what most of those things are.
I wrote the algebra in my notes, and then like the comparison was bad.